Good morning, all of you. So I think we are discussing at present now Newton's first law of motion. Is it true, Pradosh? Yes or no? So as we have studied already so many things regarding first law of motion. So what is the Newton's first law of motion? The body which is remains in rest, understanding the body at rest will be remains at rest, and a body in motion will continue in motion in a straight line with a uniform speed unless it is compelled by an external force. Is it yes or no? To change its state of rest or to change its state of motion. So that is what we have studied, Newton's first law of motion. So Newton's first law of motion will says that the body, let us consider example, the body which is in rest or else the body which is in uniform motion, understand, in a straight line, remains to be, this body remains to be in rest and this body remains to be in uniform motion unless they must be compelled by an, they maintain their state of rest and their state of uniform motion unless until what? Unless they compelled by
external force.
Compelled by external force. So then only the state of position, state of rest or state of uniform motion will change. So that is what we used to call as Newton's first law of motion. So this Newton's first law of motion also we can call it as Newton's law of inertia. Is it yes or no? Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Newton's law of inertia means in the sense of a mass is a measure of the inertia of a body. So means in the sense of if the body which is having inertia means what is the meaning of inertia? What is the meaning of inertia? It is a property of understanding. It is a property of a body which will resist the state of motion or state of rest is only called as inertia. Means which will remains to maintain the state of rest or else remains to maintain the state of motion is only called as inertia of a body. So this inertia of a body is depends on what? It depends on mass. Is it understanding, sir? Not if mass is more, if mass of a body is more, then the body is possessing what? If mass of a body is greater, then
inertia also greater.
Is it yes or not?
Inertia also greater, sir.
Inertia. So that is what we have discussed in last class. Is it yes or no, Pradosh? Pranesh?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. So now also you can see, for example, also you have studied Monish, you may observe. For example, a toy car and a real car. So where it is very difficult to, where it is required more force, where it is having more inertia. So this is the toy car. You just imagine. This is a toy car. So as we know that next you will take a real car. So which is possessing more inertia?
A real car.
Inertia.
Real car.
Real car, if you observe. So because toy car has, understanding, less mass, so that it possesses what? Less inertia. Is it yes or no? Less.
Yes, sir.
Here more mass, so that what will happen? More mass, that is why?
More inertia.
Inertia, or else greater will be the inertia. Greater will be the inertia, or else more inertia. So this is what we have studied in the last class. Till here you have studied. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Darun?
Yes, sir.
Please, yeah, there. So this is all about understanding. So what we should call it as law of inertia or else Newton's first law of motion, which we have discussed in the last class. So now from here we'll continue in the today's class. So also we know that the first law of inertia or else Newton's first law of motion also we can call with some name. Can you able to say that name? What is that? What
law
is
of inertia.
Galileo
Law of inertia.
Have you forgot it? Galileo law of inertia. So it is also known as Galileo's law of inertia. Have you forgot it? Newton's first law of motion also we can call it as Galileo's law of inertia. Is it yes or no, Pradosh? Have you remembered, Monish?
Yes, sir.
That is what
Sir.
is. So Galileo's law of inertia. So from this we have understood that if you want to move a body which is in rest, if you want to overcome the inertia, then what we should apply? If you want to overcome the inertia, what we have to do? We have to apply some external force. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that is what we should remember. So note we should make. What is the note? So every body, the body which is in rest and the body which is in motion, always they will possess the inertia. So if you want to overcome the inertia and make a body to move from rest, we have to, what we have to do? We must apply an external force. Is it yes or no? Is it yes
Yes,
or no?
sir.
That is what you should write, right? To overcome the inertia, to overcome the inertia, to overcome the inertia, to overcome the inertia and make a body move from rest and make a body move from rest, what we have to apply, Monish? Tamil Selvan, move from rest, what we should apply? We have to apply
External force.
external force. That is what you should remember. Move from rest, comma, we must apply an external force. I think it is more clear than a previous board. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We must apply an external force. Brothers, is it clear now? Which one is better, board or this one? So this is what the note you should remember. All of you should remember this. Is it okay, Ra?
Yes, sir.
So now, to illustrate this one, why people are not joining anybody? Yeah. So Elamukil, Tamil Selvan, everybody understanding, Maunej. So to illustrate this Newton's first law of motion, everybody we can do in our home also we can do. Understand? So we can say that unless until the external force is applied, the body still remains in state of rest, which is in rest. So to prove that, understand, we can illustrate the Newton's first law of motion or the property of inertia of a body with a simple experiment. Understand? So let us take for that what we should do means, understand, we have to take one glass tumbler. Do you have a glass tumbler, all of you? Do you have a glass tumbler? Please tell me. Do you have glass tumbler? If you want to say that, understanding. So unless until the external force is applied, we want to prove that the law of inertia means the body will remain in state of rest. So we have to take like this setup. Do you have this setup? All of you observe very carefully. This is a glass tumbler which is filled with what? Water. Or else you can take empty also, not an issue. But show that difference we can understanding. And you have to take a thick cardboard, square shaped cardboard. Do you have it? Tell me, do you have this cardboard?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Alana is joined just now. Alana, this is the experiment. We are doing that to prove that the property of inertia means the body which remains in rest maintains a state of rest even though we are flicking that. Let us see that maintaining state of rest unless until the external force is applied. So that is what, to prove that experiment we are doing this one. Now you have to take a tumbler and place a thick square card. What is that? Take a
Thick square cardboard.
square cardboard like this. You observe very carefully. I am placing a thick cardboard card and you just remember a coin. You have to take a coin. What is this coin? 5 rupees coin I am taking. Or else you can take any small stone or something. I am taking a 5 rupees coin and exactly I am placing, understand, exactly at the mid of the glass. You observe very carefully. Now, what is the position of this coin, Ra? What is the position of this coin and this square card? What is the position? Both are in what?
Rest.
A coin and this understanding, a thick square card, both are in rest. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now, let us see now in this case what we have to do means, let us flick the card hard with our fingers. We have to flick the card hard with our fingers, means in the sense of that we are applying the force on this card. Is it yes or no? We are applying the force
sir.
on this card. So now on flicking this card, so the card moves away, but is it the coin also will move or coin will drop into the glass tumbler? Can you able to say? Where?
Sir, in glass tumbler.
So when I'm hitting, you may observe very carefully. This coin and this square card, both are in the rest position. Now, if I try to flicking the card, I will flick this card by applying the force with my fingers very forcefully. Then, is it the coin also will move along with the flick card, or else the coin will remain maintain state of rest? What you people will say? Please tell me.
And it will fell into glass tumbler.
fell into glass tumbler because this card will be flicks away. Understanding? While I'm flicking this card, then the coin won't move because of inertia. It will remain to maintain a state of rest so that it will fall into the glass tumbler. So let us see either it is true or not. It may be fails 1 or 2 times, but it will be happen. So I will try. Understand? So if we let us see now, let us flick this card hard with our fingers. You have to flick this card very hard. At a short moment, you have to flick this. So on flicking, the card moves away, but the coin drops into the glass tumbler. So now why it is happening, how it will happen, we will discuss now. So let us do the experiment first. Shall we start now? Pradosh?
Sir.
Yeah, you can try later also. Now coin fall down. So let us again try. Understanding 1 or 2 times I will try so that better you can understand. Oh, so 1 minute, I will take it. Understand, Ra? It is falling, not falling. So now, let us discuss. You can try in your home if you have. Actually, it is not happening. You may observe very carefully. Just wait, I will try. I may not clicking the properly. That is the reason. Do you have? You can try this. It will happen. Understand? So it is actually fails. Have you noticed it? Coin fall down inside. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So this is what
Yes, sir.
called as. When you flick the card, once again I will try. Understand? If it will false, it is okay. If not, you people will try in your home. So you have to take little bit hard surface. Understand? So that it will be easily will falls down. So let me try now. For better understanding, you can see now. All of you observe. So I will try to flick forcefully. So it is not falling. You have to try continuously so that it will fall definitely. But if you flick at a time, you can see coin will fall down. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
So that is what is happening. So why it is happening? If I will try to flick this card, then in flicking, this card is going away, but the coin is falling inside. Have you noticed if the coin is inside or not?
Yes, sir.
That? So this is what happening. Why it is happening and how it is happening. Let us discuss now. So as we know that, just wait a minute. I will display that picture to better understanding.
Sir.
Here, we'll continue here. So this is what the experiment which you have to do in our home also. So observe very carefully in this experiment. First case, what we are doing, the glass, understanding, the coin and the everything, they are in constant position. Is it yes or no? They are in rest only both now. So by applying force with our fingers, means I am flicking the card by applying the force with my fingers, so that what is happening, the card moves away from it. Have you noticed it? The card moves
Yes, sir.
away from it. Is it yes or no? So in this case, you may observe, when I'm applying the force with my fingers here, the card is flicking away from it, but the coin is falling. It is not moving away because it is still remains to maintain the state of so that it will fall into the glass tumbler. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So this is what the experiment exactly should do it. Understanding? So in this experiment, if you'll observe why it is happening, we should take it. So initially, if you take both the card and the coin are in which state of? Both the initial state, if you'll observe here, in this state what? Both the card and the coin, what is the state of them? Card
Rest.
and coin. Card and coin, both are in state of rest. Is it yes or no, Pradosh?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Now, when we are flicking, when I am applying the force to the card, then what is happening? When I will hit the card with our fingers, a force acts on the card and it changes its state of rest to that what? When I'm applying force on this card, what is happening? When I'm applying force on this card, the card will move. Understanding? The card will come from, changes its state of rest to what? Rest to motion. Is it yes or no? The card
Yes, sir.
and it will change its state of rest to motion so that the card will move away. But we are not applying force, any external force to the coin. So that what will happen? What will happen? It does not act
coin remains the rest.
So due to the force which we are applying, it is acting on the card. So due to that, the card moves away from the mouth of the glass tumbler. Understand? But the force which will flux, understanding, which will flick away the card, but does not acting on the coin. The whatever the our flick, understanding, whatever the force of our flick, it is acting only on the card. It does not act on the coin. So that coin continues to be in state of what? It is remains to be in state
Rest.
of what? Understanding? Coin remains to be in state of what? Pradosh? Helamuke.
Rest.
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 Who is that? Coin. Understand? So that what will happen? It will falls into the
Glass tumbler.
glass tumbler. So it will be remains, understanding, continues in state of rest due to its why. What is the phenomenon behind due to maintain in state of rest? Table in understanding remains to be in state of rest due to what? Due to one phenomenon.
Inertia.
Due to inertia, understanding, due to inertia, so that it will falls into the tumbler. So this is what you should understand from this experiment. So this is the experiment which we will do to illustrate the understanding Newton's first law of motion, means the body which is remains in rest unless until it is compelled by an external force. Do you understand, all of you? Tamil Selvan,
Yes, sir.
Monish, Laksha,
Yes,
Alaka,
sir.
everybody. So this is the
Sir.
experiment you have to do. For this, nothing is required. You have to take one glass tumbler and one square shaped flug card and a little bit like marriage card, also marriage wedding card, something you take it, and you have to take some 5 rupees coin or something. So both at initial state, both is at rest. So that reminds they will be in rest state only. And if you will apply the force on this card by flicking, understand? So only that force is acting on this card, so that the card will move away from the glass tumblers, but the coin remains to maintain its state of rest due to the inertia. Due to what? Due to inertia. Are you understand?
Inertia.
So that what will happen?
Inertia.
The coin will falls into the glass tumbler. Do you understanding, Manya, Samya? All of you? So that is what the
Yes, sir.
example to illustrate the Newton's understanding law of inertia. Okay, Ra? Sir, no?
Yes, sir.
Next. So this is the first part of the experiment and the first part of the Newton's first law of motion, which is the body which is remains in state of rest. Now let us go for the second part. What is the second part? Second part of the first law of motion, which will says that a body in uniform motion will continue to move unless a force compels it to change its state of uniform motion. Is it yes or no? Yes or no, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Second part of Newton's first law of motion. Second part will says that the body which is in motion, which motion, Ra? The body which is
Uniform
in
motion.
uniform motion, the body which is in uniform motion in a straight line, remains, it will be in state of uniform motion, remains, understanding, in state of uniform motion, remains in state of uniform motion unless until what? Unless it compelled by what?
External force.
Unless compelled by external force. So now this is what we'll discuss now. This is the second part of the Newton's first law of motion. We will discuss it now. So unless until the force compels, understanding whatever the force we are applying, the external force, understanding, compels this, unless until there is no kind of change in, understanding, uniform motion of the body, which is in uniform motion in a straight line. So for this, let us discuss now. Understand? So as we know that at first sight, it would be appears to be wrong. The body moving at uniform speed in a straight line will continue to move forever without coming to rest. Because when we stop pedaling a bicycle, what is happening, Ra? When we stop pedaling a bicycle, I can say just it appears to be wrong. I can say that the statement alone it is wrong. Suppose I am cycling. What is happening during cycling? If I am stop pedaling, is it my bicycle is coming to rest or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it yes or not? Why it is happening during cycling? If I will stop pedaling, what will happen, Rapradosh? What will happen?
Sir, friction opposes the motion.
The bicycle will comes to, the cycle will comes to rest. will comes to rust after traveling certain distance. Is it yes or no, Manya, Samya, everybody? Is it yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
It comes to rust. Why
Yes.
it is happening? It must be uniform motion, correct? Why it is happening? It keep on moving. Understand? When we are stop pedaling a bicycle, which is moving at a uniform speed, the bicycle does not go on moving forever. Why it is happening? It will comes to rust after some time. Why? Because the moving bicycle has been compelled to change its state of uniform motion by the external force of whom? By the external
Friction.
force of whom? Air resistance. Understand? So when you will take the bicycle, understanding, when you will take the bicycle, when you are traveling, so when you are moving on a road, then if you are stop pedaling, what will happen, Pradosh? Yalamukin. When you are moving on a
Cycle will come to rest,
so
sir.
what is happening? Some opposition force is acting, which is invisible to us. That is only we used to called as air resistance. What we should call, Manya, Samya? Air
Air
resistance.
resistance.
So it is
Yes.
contacting with what? It is contacting with the ground. So that our ground is exerting something called as, what is that?
Frictional force.
Force. Understanding? Which we used to call as frictional force, or we can call it as friction. What we should call? We should call.
Friction.
So that is why if we will stop pedaling, understanding, while you are cycling, if we will stop pedaling, even though our bicycle will comes to rust, understand, it will never maintain its state of motion. It will never maintain state of motion because of why? Because of air resistance and the frictional force exerted by the ground. Understanding, Ra? Yes, sir.
Yes,
No?
sir.
Yes, that is what you should remember, all of you. Elamukil, Alana, Mavanesh, Tamil
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this is what it is, the phenomena happening. So why it is happening means you should explain this. So the external force is applied by air resistance and as well as friction. So that is why our bicycle will comes to rust. Understanding? Even though we will stop pedaling and it will comes to rust after some time. So why? Suppose if there is no air resistance and no friction, what will happen, Ram? If no air resistance, imagine just imagine. Understand? Imagine if no air resistance, if no air resistance, if no air resistance and friction, then what will happen, Ra? What will happen to our bicycle? If
Sir,
no
it
air,
keep on moving.
huh? If no
It
air,
keep on moving.
if no air resistance and no friction, which will oppose the motion of a bicycle, then according to the first law of motion, what will say? A moving bicycle would go on moving forever and forever and forever. It would not stop by itself. Is it yes or no? It will not
Yes,
stop
sir.
by itself. That is what you should remember. Understand? So that is what. So that is why. So air friction, air resistance and friction. Is it good for us or is it bad for us?
For us.
Good or bad? Huh? Is it
Good.
good or bad, Ra? Few times it is good and few times it is bad. So when we want to move fast, suppose air is opposing us, then we will feel it is bad. But when you want to stop, if air and suppose our brakes fails, understanding, but you may stop pedaling. But even though our bicycle is not coming to rust because of no air resistance and no friction, then we will feel it is very difficult to control it. Is it yes or no? So that is why.
Yes, sir.
If there is no air and no friction, then the bicycle will, understanding, keep on moving in a uniform motion, understanding, ever and ever, it will keep on moving, and it will never comes to rust, understand, after even a long period of time also. This is what we can say, first part and second part of Newton's first law of motion. I hope you understand very well. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, so if you understand this, anybody is having any doubt, you can ask me. Darun now only I think he has joined. So this is what will happen during while you are cycling. Our cycle will comes to rust due to because of air resistance and friction. Somebody will ask you the question, why our bicycle is coming to rust even though we are not pedaling. What you will say? What you people will say? Because of due to
Air resistance and
air
friction.
resistance and as well as
Friction.
from the ground. Do you understanding? So now, if you'll understand this, let us discuss some more real life examples. Understanding, we will now describe some everyday observations which are based on the property of inertia of a body, which are based on the property of inertia of a body, due to which it will resist a change in its state of rest or change in its state of motion. Real life examples. Understand? So you can keep example, real life examples of understanding Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. This is happening because of Bumra, Elamukel, Tamil Selvan, due to
Inertia.
inertia. That is what it is happening. That is what most important one. Due to inertia only it is happening. The body which is in rest also due to inertia. The body which is in uniform motion also due to inertia only it will happen. So now let us discuss these examples to better understanding more clearly. Suppose, how many of you seen when a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick? Have you noticed it? The dust particles
Yes, sir.
coming out. Have you noticed it? You may see that by the festivals now, Diwali is going to get soon, or else Vinayak Chavithi is going to get soon. We people, suppose you see, you try bed sheet. Do you have bed sheet in your home? Used bed sheet.
Yes, sir.
All of you. Do you have used bed sheet? Speak.
Yes, sir.
So as we know that if you are using the bed sheet, it is having a small porous medium, means it contains holes, that all the holes is filled with the dust particles. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is it yes or no? Others, brothers, everybody you speak communicating. So now, please try to hang this bed sheet or carpet, or else our doormat. You can try today itself. Understand? So this is filled with the dust particles. Okay. So now I have kept a clips. I have hanged it. This is my clips where I have hanged it, and observe very carefully. This is hanging to the somewhere. Now, if I will hit this with some kind of a stick, what will happen, brothers? Brothers, Darun, anybody? If I will hit with a
Sir,
stick,
the dust will go out.
hit with a stick, dust will go out. How it will go out? Can you able to explain? This is what the first example. When a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, you can write it here. What you will write? First example, example 1. When a hanging carpet, or you can take bed sheet. When a hanging carpet is beaten with a stick, understand what will happen, Monish? What will happen? Beaten with a stick, the dust particles start coming out of it. The dust particles start coming out of it. So that what is happening, sir, here? You may notice it while you are cleaning your home. Also, you may feel it. Samaya, Manya, Laksha, particularly girls, you may see here. So what is happening means here. Let me imagine my hand is the carpet, and it contains dust particles. Now, when I will hit with a stick, when I beat it with a stick, I am applying force on humra. Dust particles or carpet? I am applying force
Carpet.
on particles or carpet?
Carpet.
Carpet. Is it yes or no? So if I hit the carpet with the external force, then the carpet will start moving. Means from the state of rust to, it will start moving. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Darun, are you understanding? So the carpet will start moving backward direction, but the dust particles which are present inside that carpet remains to maintain state of what? Remains to maintain rust only, so that when the carpet will move backward, so what will happen? Understand? So the carpet will start shaking vigorously. Understanding? So that it will move backwards. Understanding? So what will happen? The particles tends to remain such state of rust. So due to their inertia, and hence they will separate out from the carpet. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All of you. So that is what will happen when you are beating the carpet or any kind of bed sheet, or even you can see our bed also. If you hit with a stick, then the dust particles will start rising upwards. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Because when you will beat with this, then the carpet will gains the state of motion, but still the dust particles, whatever the dust particles are present here, they will start maintaining a state of rest. Understand? So these dust particles remains to maintain, remains in state of rest due to what? Due to what, Monish, Tarun? Due to phenomena what? Pradosh?
Inertia.
Due to inertia. Others are not speaking Tamil, Selvan. Due to inertia, state of rest, remains in state of rest due to inertia. Due to inertia. So that what will happen? They will be separate out from carpet. Understand, brothers? Separate out from carpet. That is what you should remember. Okay, da?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, let us go for real life, a little bit more real life example. This is what the first example which you have to understand. Now, second example, let us imagine. Now, Tamil Selvan, Darun, understand? Everybody, Yelamukil, everybody, they went near one mango tree. Observe very carefully. Mango tree. Where you went, people? Anybody? You went near one mango tree. Is it okay, Ra? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Yes. So now, when a tree which is having a flexible stem, you just observe, you just shake it vigorously. If you start shaking that a tree very, very forcefully, then you can see all the fruits, leaves, everything will start falling down. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So let us imagine one tree. Let us take the tree. So what is happening? All of you just observe. So let us take the big tree. Understand? So which is having a one branch. Understand? So branch, very long branch, which is having a leaves. You can take. And even it is containing having fruits also. You can take fruits. Is it okay, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now observe carefully. This is what the plant we have. Second real life example. Now you observe very carefully these leaves and fruits and all. This is what the fruits, understand, is present everywhere. So now you can say carefully, observe carefully. Now Monish and everybody they went, Yelamukil and Monish they went, and they are started, understand, shaking. They are holding here and they are starting vigorously. From here, they are starting shaking vigorously. Shaking very fastly, you can take. Shaking fastly, or else we can call it as vigorously, means very randomly they are vibrating. So what will happen, Ra? When we are giving motion to this branch of flexible branch of tree, but the leaves and fruit remains to state of motion, a state of rest. Is it yes or no? They will maintain, remains in state of rest. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
State of rest. Who is that? Leaves and fruits. So that is why you may see. Have you noticed it? Like any kind of fruits and all, mangoes and all. If you shake the plants very fastly, then automatically mangoes will fall down. Due to air, you may see that due to the wind speed, you may watch in the news also. Because of heavy rains and heavy wind, all the mangoes will fall down, all the trees will fall down. Have you heard that news? During
Yes, sir.
floods and all, during floods and tsunami and all. Have you heard that or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why it is happening? Because
Sir.
we are also the same thing. So when you are giving force to the flexible stem, understanding, we are giving force to the flexible stem of a plant, so that when the plant is moving, understanding, when the plant is moving to and fro motion, it will gain the motion from the state of rest to state of motion. That is what you should remember. Shaken vigorously. All of you should learn that word. Shaken vigorously. Very fastly. Shaken vigorously. V-I-G-O. What is the spelling of vigorously? V-I-G-O. R-O-U-S.
ROUSLY.
Understanding, vigorously. Understanding, shaken vigorously means in the sense of when we are doing the to and fro motion. To and fro motion. Understanding means moving forward and backward like this, shaken. Then what is happening? The branch, the flexible branch of a stem, understand, or else the stem will gain the, understanding, what? Motion. Is it yes or no? The body will
Yes,
start
sir.
moving. But its fruits and leaves tends to remain at rest. Understand? So the stem or branch will get what is happening to and fro motion. The stem will start mains motion. The stem or flexible branch will gains motion. But what is happening, Elamukil? But the fruits and leaves remains in state of
Rest.
rest. So that what will happen due to inertia? They remains in state of rest due to inertia.
Inertia.
So that what will happen? They will start falling down. Have you noticed it? They will remain in state of rest due to their inertia, and hence they will detach from the tree and they will fall down. Do you understanding that? Due to inertia, so they will detach from tree and fall down. Do you understanding, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So this is the second real life example of understanding the inertia. Is it okay? Somebody is asking, repeat it. Who is that? Manya. Manya, nothing is Manya. Suppose you see you and your sister went to near one tree, which is having in our garden. So this is what the tree you have, mango tree, let us imagine. So now you want mango. So what you will do, you will hold that one branch of that mango tree and you will start shaking vigorously like this, very, very fastly if you are shaking. So what will happen? That branch of tree will start moving, means it will gain the state of motion from state of rest because of external force. But we are not applying the force to the leaves and as well as mangoes. So what will happen? They will maintain in state of rest. They will remain to maintain the state of rest due to inertia. So that is why they will start falling down. Do you understand? If you will shake it more fastly, more fruits will fall down. If you will shake it less, then less fruits will fall down. Is it yes or no? Have you remembered?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what we used to call as because of due to inertia. Understand? This is the second example of understanding Newton's first law of motion. Now, let us go for the third example. Have you noticed it in our real life? How many of you traveled in bus?